The Wallace Initiative really pushed us to do something that we needed to do but hadn't quite done.
They allowed us to adjust our strategies and refine our strategies in reaching that goal. And that freedom really is such a gift.
There will be whole new combinations and ways for people to tell their story and to access media that has real deep meaning in their lives.
In 2008, the Wallace Foundation chose the San Francisco Bay Area for a major 4-year investment in the arts. The Wallace Foundation Cultural Participation Initiative was designed to help the Bay Area arts community transform audience participation. Working with local funders, it gave arts groups time, resources, and tools to work with new media and new technologies. It helped them understand the audiences they already had and reach out to new communities. Here is how 4 Bay Area arts organizations use the Wallace Initiative to help transform their relationship with their audiences. Axis Dance Company is one of the first companies to offer professional dance performed by people with and without disabilities. The company has built a loyal niche audience, but it needs to reach out more broadly without abandoning its base. The Wallace Initiative gave this small organization new resources to build a marketing plan and understand its audience. Using surveys, Google Analytics, and web data, as well as carefully constructed focus groups, Axis is learning how to listen to its audience.
The purpose is to explore what the general tenor of the disability community is out there in terms of dance. The plan is ideally to have people who have disabilities, who are physically active, and who are not familiar with Axis or dance as a person with a disability, and what their potential inclinations might be to get involved with a company like Axis, or what their barriers are from participating, with the ultimate goal of getting them to come to a show or take a class or be a dancer.
Axis has also learned that it can use Facebook and other social media to connect with audience members and prospective dancers in ways that wouldn't have been possible a few years ago.
You can type in disabled athletes and get a whole list of organizations, and then you can go and you connect with them, You either become their friend, or you like their page, or you post something to them or send them a message. It's completely expanded the range of people that we reach.
Social media has also expanded the way Axis interacts with fans who've never seen a live performance. For example, search tools led the company to the blog of a disability studies professor. He compared Axis's choreography with representations of disabled dancers on the popular television show Glee.
Just learning about all of the people that are talking about Axis out there that we hadn't realized were out there. And wow, we have an audience out there, and we can utilize this tool to really leverage that audience to talk to more people about us and spread the word of our mission and our goals as a physically integrated dance company and what we do.
One of the things that the Wallace Initiative has allowed for and has really supported is the whole philosophy about thinking about audiences deeply. One of the key ways to stay broadly accessible to a broad audience as a culturally specific institution is to really remain welcoming and really to remain engaged with your community through multiple efforts. That welcoming aspect, that aspect that all are really welcome here, is a key in that marketing angle, and all the things that we do in presenting programming and exhibitions to the public has that messaging built into it as well. Our timing was really synchronistic. We opened the building and began our Wallace Initiative at the same time. So we were able to invest in that audience and think about that audience from the opening of the new building for the museum.
An important segment of the audience the Contemporary Jewish Museum hoped to attract was families. Since the new building opened, CJM's curators have created a series of family-friendly exhibitions. The museum experimented with new ways to meet the needs of young children and their parents, testing each new model with audience surveys.
We were finding that the museum opening at 11 was hitting nap time. So we talked to our audiences and we asked questions, and we started opening the museum earlier. And then we hit so much success and there were so many families coming out that we actually even went another hour early.
The museum now holds an early morning preschool gallery hour every month, which draws families of all backgrounds.
So families don't feel the concern of, are they interrupting a different type of museum goer. There's also activities on the floor. There's activities at eye level for preschoolers. And the tone of the museum is very different for those 2 hours every month. And we've had tremendous success. And that audience in particular has grown and grown each time that we've run that program.
Diversifying audiences was also a goal for the Center for Asian American Media. CAM is best known for its annual San Francisco Asian American Film Festival. CAM's particular challenge was to reach a range of audiences within the Asian American community and to improve the ways it engages those audiences.
We're dedicated to presenting the stories of the Asian and Asian American experience. We recognize that we're a very diverse and complex community, and we always want to sort of argue for that when we're presenting our communities.
What we could see right about the time the initiative was announced, that an enormous shift was going to be happening in media. And we thought it was so important to align ourselves with a strategic shift. And that was going to mean a new relationship with us, with makers, and with audiences of all types.
The Wallace Initiative has changed the way we've related to that audience, I think, in sort of the different ways we try and get connected to them, whether it's through television, whether it's through online, whether it's through mobile apps. Maybe it's a strategy of all 3 or 4 or 5.
CAM identified 3 underrepresented Asian American groups and designed interactive media projects to target each of them. First, they created a social media website where mixed-race Asian American or HAPA participants could share their own photos and videos and interact with one another.
Papas.us really allowed us to think about how could social media connect people to talk about their personal experiences about identity, family, lifestyle, all of that. And it was our kind of first foray into connecting to a wider audience about this particular type of experience.
While the HAPA audience at the film festival increased that year, the website itself didn't create the kind of enthusiasm CAM had hoped. So they designed their second project to be more interactive. It's an iPhone app called Filipino or Not. It asks users to guess whether or not a series of famous people are Filipino.
That game really helped us look at, in a humorous way, how race in media could really be a topic of conversation. And to date, we've had over 9,000 downloads in 2 years.
The third project is a video game created for girls. It's based on a documentary about the first Nepali women to climb Mount Everest and targets the South Asian community.
The game is about girl empowerment, teamwork, leadership, environmental stewardship, and representing a culture and its location in a respectful way in a digital environment.
CAM's 3 interactive projects changed the way the organization approaches new media.
We were looking at the quality of engagement and just different types of engagement. It just wasn't about butts and seats anymore for us.
The initiative encouraged arts groups to think about new ways to use social media, not just to tell audiences about events, but to talk about them, to connect audience members to one another, and to learn from them.
What social media has enabled us to do is listen much more keenly and attentively and in real time to what our audience is saying.
The mission of the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus is not just artistic. The chorus is a leader in the worldwide gay community. With a very small staff, the chorus wanted to find a way to involve its 250 singing members in social media. By giving singers the tools they need to communicate with audiences online, it made them into ambassadors, not just for the chorus, but also for the message of pride that the chorus represents to people around the world. Democratizing the chorus's online presence has had a dramatic effect.
Now, on our Facebook wall, for instance, we have members engaging directly in conversations and dialogue and networking with our audience and our fans, and that's a wonderful thing.
Hello, I am a singing member of the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus. A few weeks ago, we celebrated...
At a difficult time for the arts, the Wallace Initiative invested deeply and specifically in the issues that trouble large and small organizations. It gave them breathing room to investigate and experiment.
There was just so much that was learned in such a short time that has been really valuable to us, but also implementable.
It asks you to report to your colleagues about what did you learn, what were your surprises, what were your misses. And that's something that's really unique and special because sharing those misses is actually sometimes where you're learning the most.
To experience what we do as a series of experiments, some of which work, some of which don't.
The Wallace Initiative allowed us to try new things, to be adaptable, to have a sense of piloting, learning, and testing things out in a way that I think that we maybe didn't have the freedom or the confidence to do before.